Hey everyone, today I'm going to be doing a slightly different video, once again, from other videos I've done before. And this is going to be a little shooting competition involving this Lee Enfield No. 4 Mark I, which was manufactured in 1948. So, if you guys follow the Rifle Chair channel here on YouTube, he was recently challenged by another individual. I believe his channel's called Another Reincarnation, something like that. Anyway, and it's basically just a little friendly shooting competition that I figured I would try my hand at. Essentially what it is shooting at a 12 by 12 target at 200 meters, but since I'm in America I'm going to be using yards, and also that's just what my range is. So I'm going to be shooting at 200 yards, 12 by 12 target, 20 rounds, and then scoring it based on the number of hits and the amount of time it took. I believe the equation was number of hits times 5, divided by total time in seconds, and then multiplied by 100 gives you your score. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to try my hand at it. And also, you're supposed to do it, and you can use whatever shooting position you want. However, the original video was shot prone unsupported. I know Rifle Chair plans on doing it prone unsupported, so I'm going to do it prone unsupported, which I think, as you'll see, is a position I need a little bit of work on. So I don't have really high hopes for how I'm going to perform today. However, I think it's going to be a fun little shooting competition, and really this is going to be also an invitation to my viewers if you want to participate in something like this. It's just a fun excuse to get out, head to the range, shoot some of these old open sight military surplus rifles out to a little bit of distance, and just, you know, it's a good way to measure, quantify your ability, I guess is a good way of putting it. So again, I got this No. 4 Mark I, which I know is more accurate than I am probably, especially with open sights. I'm just got the basic little L sight back here. I'm going to be doing a full video on this thing, so you'll see more details in that. But I'm just going to be using the 300-yard aperture, which from some testing I was doing earlier this week should be getting me where I need to be at 200 yards. So again, I have a 12 by 12 target down there. I have a camera set up down there, which I shouldn't shoot. Shouldn't. Hopefully that works out. It's also a little bit later in the afternoon, so thankfully there's not a bunch of brightness contrast from this overhang here where I'm shooting from out to where the target is, so that should make life a little bit easier, take away some of my excuses, but we'll see. So again, I'm going to be shooting this prone unsupported, 20 rounds. Going to start with 10 rounds in the magazine. And then I have 2 5-round stripper clips loaded up, which will probably, if anything, slow me down because I need to figure those out. But enough excuse making. Let's go ahead and just get this out of the way. This will be a humbling experience, I'm sure. Alright, so as I said, this was going to be a little bit of a humbling experience, and Rate of fire seemed to be pretty good, at least from my perception. Now, I will say that I won't be able to get an exact score until I get home because I didn't have a shot timer out here with me, so I was just relying on my girlfriend to be running a stopwatch on her phone, starting approximately when I started shooting and ending approximately when I ended shooting 20 rounds later. As you saw, I did fumble around with some of those reloads. It's definitely something I need to work on. Obviously, being used to box-fed semi-automatic rifles, that loading process is a lot easier, and I need to work on those chargers a little bit for the Lee Enfield. But anyway, with all that said, as you probably might have been able to count from my downrange camera, I had 8 hits on target. Not super impressive. Again, I had a couple shots that were within an inch of the border, but being that this is in itself a 12 by 12, not including this little bottom section, which thankfully I didn't have any hits on, this is a 12 by 12 target. So only counting the hits that actually impacted on this. Now, according to a rough time estimate, it was 1:40, which is a minute 40.02. So for all intents and purposes, about 100 seconds. So 8 hits times 5 is 40, and then dividing by 100 seconds and then multiplying by 100 brings it back to 40 points. So again, a nice humbling experience. Thankfully, my speed, I think, helped. If I had taken longer, obviously my score would be a lot lower. So with that said, really, again, what I wanted this video to do is to challenge some of you guys out there to test your skills with maybe a rifle that you don't get to take out as often if you have a Mosin Nagant. So for example, the guy who challenged Rifle Chair was using a 9130 to do his version of this, and I think he got 13 hits at 200 meters, so he had an extra few feet than I did. So you know, obviously this can be done with anything out there. So if you have a Lee Enfield, if you have a Mosin Nagant, if you have a Mauser K98, whatever open sight military surplus rifle you have, I would challenge you to get out there and run this test, because it's just a fun way to see where your skills are at, and for me, shoot from a position that I don't normally shoot from. So I definitely want to work on that, because you know, had I been shooting prone supported or even shooting off a bench, I think this would have been a little bit better score-wise, but again, that's not what I wanted to do out here today. So again, 40 points with a rifle that is 70 years old now. And also, I should say, I was hand loading all my ammo. My girlfriend actually helped me with that today. If you follow my Instagram page, she was posting a bunch to my story about that. But we were using 150 grain full metal jacket, PPU bullets, and ball C2 powder. I'm not going to give you guys my exact load because that's something you need to figure out for yourself and for your gun. But gave me reasonable results that I think is an accurate representation of what this rifle can do in my hands. So what I'll do is, there's obviously, being a friendly shooting competition, not going to be any rewards or anything like that, but what I'll probably do is start collecting. If any of you out there want to do this and post a video of it, you have to get it on camera, ideally with both a camera on you shooting and a camera downrange if you can, even if it's just, you know, your iPhone propped up on something, just so we have actual proof that you did it. And again, 20 rounds, prone unsupported, with an open sight military style rifle. And you know what, if you want to do it with your AR or whatever, open sights, you know, knock yourself out, but at least for this little competition, it won't count towards that. So what I'll do is, if you want to participate in this, go ahead and go to my Facebook page and send me a link once you upload your video, and I'll kind of combine the scores that are submitted to me, and then once Rifle Chair does his, you know, I'm sure we'll coordinate with that. And again, this is just a fun little excuse to get out to the range, shoot at some longer ranges, again with some guns that maybe don't get much time out of the safe. I should also say that if you're at all interested in Lee Enfield rifles, you definitely need to follow Rifle Chair's channel. He has an excellent channel which covers a lot of stuff, both old and modern, but he is definitely, I would consider, a subject matter expert when it comes to these Enfield rifles. So I'm actually consulting him quite a bit in preparation for my video on this number 4 Mark 1. I wish I'd done it when I did my brother's number 3, or excuse me, number 1 Mark 3. But I'm definitely getting a lot of his input on this number 4, and it's all good so far, and his is a channel that I watch pretty frequently. So anyway, with that plug out of the way, try your hand at this competition. If you participate, send me the link on Facebook. We'll combine all the scores. We'll give it, let's see, today is August 5th. we'll give it until September 5th, and then I'll make an update video combining everyone's scores, and I'll read off the winners, and you know, we'll see if I can send something your way, but no guarantees at all for that. So anyway, with all that said, if you guys are interested in this or other videos like this, definitely subscribe to my channel if you're not already. I am uploading to Full30 now, so feel free to take a look over there. And then I also have a Patreon page where the people who are supporting me over there are the people who allow me to reload ammo for this 303 rifle and to buy targets for a test like this. So I really appreciate the help that those guys are doing over there. You know, we do all my content there early. We do some exclusive content over there, and then we also do some giveaways over there. So check that out if you're interested. But anyway, with all that said, as always, I hope you got something out of this video, and I really appreciate you watching.